Welcome to story number 98, season 16, episode 1, the beginning of the Key to Time saga.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost at 100. We will hit 100 in a few weeks.
It's true.
But the Ribos Operation. What happens in it, dear?
Well, I'm still mad about the new K9, by the way. But they're
It's
going...
literally the same, just
I don't care.
the servos are slightly different.
I don't care. It's different. If you were given a cat that looked
Wow.
exactly like your cat, and it was told that it's the same.
And sounded exactly the same, and acted exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. Would
and
you agree
same
that it's your cat?
memories.
It doesn't have the... No! It doesn't have the same fucking memories, because it's a different fucking K9!
Aha! You're correct.
Exactly! So it's not the same K9, and I'm upset! Anyway,
He's a little upset.
they're going on holiday, and they talk about palm trees, and the TARDIS shuts down, and the door opens, and the doctor's apparently required somewhere by a guardian, so onto a planet we go, and it sucks here. And a man in a white suit who looks like he owns a plantation tells him that there's a key to time, and it's important. It's in 6 pieces. And when combined, it makes Exodia and stops all time for a little bit. So we have to find it before we, did stop eternal chaos. Also, there's this one thing, it's really bad that...
Chaos!
Black Knight, whatever, wants to also grab it, it's fine. Anyway, also, you're gonna get a volunteer, or else nothing will ever happen to you again, Doctor. That's pretty bad. They're also probably disguised. Also, you need a partner and a tracker to find them, so here you go. Also, there's this guy who's evil, don't worry about it. So now the assistant shows up, she's in a white dress, she has a hell of a name, I'm not going to say it, because I can't.
Romanadvoratrelundar.
Good for you. Romana hands him a tracker and goes, wow, I graduated better than you. He's like, how did you know that? And then also she put a hole in the TARDIS, which we put the stick into, and it finds the coordinates for where we're going. So Doctor wants her to just stay on the TARDIS and make tea and do nothing. Also, the coordinates changed for the piece they just saw, so it's moving, obviously. Cut to Min on a snowy castle, being cold, breaking into said castle. There's a curfew here, and some men with eagles on sticks, and it's all very prim and proper. And also, we drop some meat down into this hole that we're breaking into, because the big animal down there needs to eat. So we can probably steal some jewels. And then the thing that was given the meat is a big mean asshole monster thing. But it's fed and drugged and sleepy, and the first thief is ready to steal, and second thief goes down the hole. At the TARDIS, Doctor is huffy, and Romana is brushing her hair and sassy. And not gonna mood that one?
I'm not brushing my hair and sassy. I'm not sassy.
Okay,
I'm
well
just a
then mood.
bitch.
Yeah,
exactly.
She's
you should be saying mood, not me.
She's like science bullshit, but then it basically just means you compensate for the size of your dick, Doctor. So yeah. And then thief straight up thief number 2 puts a crystal inside with the crown jewels, and other thief then goes to escort some royalty around, and they send their guards back to the ship where they were standing is now suddenly the TARDIS. We should really call her Fred, but whatever, her name's Romana. And the Doctor basically walks straight into a trap. That's fun. The thief is basically selling these new royals this planet, so he's like, how much are you willing to pay? The planet is full of the rare shit in the galaxy, and because of the condition, we get to keep all the money. And thief just kind of walks past the door, but he has like this weird Earth accent, and the Doctor's like, what the fuck? And the royals are talking about not really wanting to get the planet, but also getting the planet because money, and gems, or fuck, what's it called? The thing? Jethric, thank you. Thief 2 is going up top and drugs a guard, steals his outfit. He's blinded and faints. It's alright. Goodbye, Hershey's Kiss Hat Man. And then the thief blows on the horn for the big old monster, which Romana is walking right past. And then it's time to lock her inside with the monster because the gate's closing and they're probably both dead now because the Doctor's trying to save her. That's it.
Yeah.
They really love ending on they're dead now.
Yes. Well, remember, this is meant to be like a 6 p.m. 6:15 p.m. family for the whole family, sort of like, oh, what's happening this week? What are the adventures up to?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the key to time. All stories this season are linked by this theme, this whole story arc. The Doctor is sent on a quest by the White Guardian, who is, to give you a little bit of a history that the season doesn't entirely give you. Oh, thank you. I have a feeling I know what it is. Sorry, our package has arrived. To give you a little bit of history of what the Black Guardian and the White Guardian are, they're essentially like celestial beings, like think like the Q from Star Trek, or just gods, kind of, but not really. They're kind of more just like forces of the universe. The White Guardian represents order, the Black Guardian represents chaos. In this season, they kind of lean towards saying that the White Guardian is good and the Black Guardian is evil, when, I mean, to be completely honest, I don't really subscribe to the belief that order equals automatic good and chaos equals automatic evil.
Where's the Grey Guardian?
Pretty authoritarian. The Grey Guardian, exactly. So, there is a sequel series to The Key to Time called The Key to Time. Yeah, get it? That's pretty clever. That Big Finish do. That's a 3-episode story to this arc. That kind of muddies the water, where the Doctor kind of overtly calls out like the fact that the White Guardian is merely the lesser of two evils. Because both of them are so one corner or the other. It's like everything is either entirely order or everything is entirely chaos. It's like they're both bad.
Yeah.
That's what the White Guardian and the Black Guardian are. They're both after the Key to Time, which is basically the MacGuffin that you get it, you get ultimate power. There's more information about it as we go, but all you need to know is it's the MacGuffin, ultimate power if it's all combined, so we need to get the pieces to make sure that the enemy doesn't get it. That's it. This is also the first time the story has kind of been encompassed for an entire season, although Season 8 did have every episode related to the Master, but they were standalone stories. They weren't like, the Master's master plan or something like that. Also, initially, it wasn't meant to be Romana. They actually were going to try and get Sarah Jane back. She was going to replace Leela, but Elizabeth Sladen was apprehensive to rejoin, so she declined, so they created Romana instead, which, to be honest, I'm really glad they did, because I love Romana. She gets better and better as time goes by. And she's meant to be... Because they couldn't get Sarah Jane back, they were like, okay, well, we've gone with the sort of very instinctual, sort of very violent companion. Let's go to the other extreme, to the sort of preppy and intelligent and hyper individual
Sorry, I had to look up and
Romana.
remember who Sarah Jane was. Continue.
All I would have had to, if you just asked me who she was, all I would have had to have said was overalls, and you would have remembered.
No.
She wore overalls.
You could have told me she had a gun.
She did have a gun at one point.
That would probably be the most sticking point, but continue.
Romana is meant to be thought of as sort of the Doctor's conscience in this sort of sense, because the Doctor is very egotistical at the moment, and they kind of are a bit iffy on his morals, so she's meant to be sort of like the fresh out of school
libertarian.
Sort of, hey, hang on a minute. Yeah, not libertarian. More, hey, this is how things are meant to be done. Why are you bending the rules here? And sort of more questioning him on those lines. Whereas Leela sort of went along with him because she didn't know any better. But anyway, I've rambled on for long enough. What happens in part 2?
Well, the guards realize that the door isn't closing, so they lift it so they don't kill their dog thing, and the Doctor escapes, and then they close the door. The guards come in, they gotta hide, so they decide to hide behind the awkward partitions in the room that no one can legally look around.
It is actually illegal to look behind them. I checked the behind the scenes of the production notes. It says it's illegal to look behind them. It's weird, I know.
So one of the guards walks straight towards the dog door, which, just to his right, is, Romana, but it's fine. It's not like he can see her. Then he turns to the right, doesn't see her, and keeps going. Thief...
He really should have turned to the left.
He should have. Thief, what's-his-face, comes back and bows to the jewels. He's like, hi, I'm Northern. I have a friend with a lot of money. Can we deposit the money here safely if I pay you? And they're like, yeah. No one has fucking peripheral vision in this goddamn show. And I'd
chalk that up to bad stage direction.
Sure, but I guess just for me, it's the fact that it's happened over this many seasons now that they use it as like a device or a plot device or whatever.
It is annoying.
It's very frustrating.
But in this instance, I kind of find it humorous because it's like, he looks directly at her.
Yes.
But he doesn't see her. And it's not like he looks directly at her, but she's, covered up or something. It's like, no, we see him looking towards her direction. He should see her right now. But it's like, you don't see where she is in the shot.
There's so nothing in between the two of them.
You just forget where she is. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like,
Yeah. So they just sneak out unseen, because of course they do. Cut to their royal people literally talking about their emotional fucking baggage, and then start to argue about the cost of the planet. Doctor's curious about this thief dude nearly let slip about the black guardian. Guardian. You got it correct. It is Guardian. By the way, the planet is shitty and people are stupid here. They don't even have telescopes. Also, look at this blue stone. Please tell us about it. The second thief, who is disguised as one of the guards, calls it a scringe stone, and it like keeps you warm or some shit. And there's a mine full of it here, but it's off record, and his dad died looking for it, and it's very sad. And the king's guard is like, this dude's lying. The king's like, no one would lie to me. But also the stone's real. Also, wow, look, I have this map to this mine. Wow. Also, the Doctor and Romana are here and totally ignored. And then they walk away, leaving the Doctor and Romana there, and they're like, okay. And then he goes, wow, this is the biggest piece of Jethric I've ever seen. Wow, they're compensating. Romana thought they were actually, like, honest, like a naive idiot, apparently. They basically have agreed on everything, but please, could we just have a deposit for the planet? Because, come on. Meanwhile, Prince finds himself a button hidden away, sort of thing. I didn't really understand what it was. Because I looked away for like 0.2 seconds and I got confused. Cut to the thieves arguing about how he tries way too hard to impress them. Also, they know the Doctor, but he seems weird, and so they're just gonna stick to the plan. However, the Doctor and Romana have figured out their plan, and the Prince is like, shit seems weird. He leaves his money, thief signs away that the night guards or whatever, and drugs the Beastie Boy that night. The Doctor is going to go down there and meet them before they get down there to the jewels, and the Doctor's caught by a guard who he then hypnotizes. Thief 2 is back at the jewels. Thief 1 also, he also hides behind the partition, by the way, also unseen, but locks the Doctor inside the jewel room. He goes out the roof hole, though, because of course he does, because the second thief has woken up the guard and caused him to blow his guard whistle, but then the guards and the Prince meet him on their way down, so the guard one and the Doctor and Romana are like, fuck, and then they're like, you're gonna be put to death. So, yeah.
It's time to put you to death now. You're all gonna die. Oh no. So,
oh,
did you want me to say something?
Yeah. If not, I'll just keep going and then just never let you talk, and then we'll be done.
Well, that's not fair. I like talking too. Tom Baker, and you noticed this basically right away, his lip was cut when he was bitten by a dog. Not just any dog. Turns out it was Paul Seed who plays the Graf Vindicay in this. His dog bit Tom Baker on the lip, and he had to cover it up with plaster, which is very visible in this story. And the next story, and quite a few stories after, the scar is very visible. Because ouch, that's not good.
No.
That's not good if like it's that visible. That must have fucking hurt.
Yeah.
But Graham Williams, the producer, had proposed the idea of the Guardians and the Quest a year earlier, but several stories had already been commissioned, which the big plan couldn't really accommodate. His 3-page document begins with a discussion of ideas of balance, deriving from Eastern philosophies and garbled version of quantum physics, and the notion of power without responsibility. Having begun his producership whilst The Deadly Assassin was being edited, his conception that the Time Lords couldn't be the ultimate power in the universe resulted in the creation of a hierarchy of beings, like Russian dolls, with the Twin Guardians as the highest in this plane of existence. Which is why it's a bit like this. I very much like the fact that he doesn't think that the Time Lords are the highest in all regards. Because, you know, the Time Lords are already as pompous as it can be. Don't give them any more of an ego. But yeah, Mary Tam, who's playing Romana, was really surprised to get the part because she'd actually been at drama school with Louise Jameson, who played Leela. And she got this job basically right out of acting school, from what I can tell. One of her first roles. But Graham Williams wanted to go to the extreme opposite of the Savage and introduce an Ice Maiden, which is exactly what Romana is. One might call her a bitch, sometimes. I would say justified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Contrary to popular belief,
Except
the
K9.
costumes were all actually made specifically for this story, except to K9, of course. No one can be a bitch to K9.
No one.
Some of the sets, notably the Relic Chamber, were redressed from a big-budget adaptation of Anna Karenina. So, if you keep an eye out for the crown and the coronation robe, we may see them again as well, because they reuse a lot of props. Because, again, inflation. Publicity for this season started out a bit weird, because there were other shows and other networks sort of coming around and stealing them. But there's a dip in there's a dip in viewership between episode 2 and episode 3, purely because there were other big broadcasts going on and other channels, and this is when Doctor Who starts to decline a little bit. Michael Grade, the instigator of ITV's scheme to steal views basically away from Doctor Who, never forgot this stain in his reputation as TV's, quote, miracle worker. Remember the name Michael Grade, because we're going to get to him in about 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, he's classed as the villain in a lot of things about Doctor Who. Anyway, what happens in the next part, dear?
Well, they're the Three Stooges, really. They slap each other all around. The gold was stolen, so now we call a seeker, but they don't... Yes, we don't understand what a scringe stone is. Hey, Doctor, what the fuck is your stick, by the way? Also, the first thief has a watch that reveals that Thief 2 exists. Thief basically goes, y'all are nice. Too bad we're all gonna die, because that prince is a fucking maniac. And Romana goes straight up goes, key to time! And it's just kind of passed on. And then the Doctor whistles for K9 to come. Off to we see the seer. But then we go and find this random man, and he's like, hello, I'm a heretic, my name is Binro, I'm a trash monster, and I'm hiding the thief number 2, but you don't know that. And then the seer is here and doing shit and calling upon the gods and asking where the money is. And it's a place of fire where they search, supposedly, so they're gonna go back and look. Because, you know, that's where Binro is keeping him. Doctor and Thief 1 are just chatting about their past, and Romana's like, oh god, come on! By the way, Jethric lets you warp through space, and also he stole his little Jethric thing, whatever. He sells planets, kinda, sorta, not really. He doesn't really actually even know how much Jethric is worth, which is actually, like, more than anything he's ever made.
It's worth 2.
Yes. The Doctor takes his walkie-talkie watch and is probably going to fix it. And the heretic, by the way, believes that the world isn't flat, there are other planets, and that's why he's a heretic. And Thief 2 basically goes, dude, listen, I'm high, you're high, but I think you're right. And then Benthro cries. And K9 shows up to help the doctor by knocking out the guard we call Thief 2 on watch, tell him to fucking run. So they run into the catacombs, and the doctor fucking books it. By the way, the tracer is going off, so the Jethric this whole time, on the Jethric this whole time, wowie, guess that's the timepiece. So because it's tracking the Jethric, they can follow it and find Thief 2. But Sierra's in the catacombs now, and she's like, there's no coming out of there. Oops, they're dead. There's another beastie in here in the catacombs like the one near the jewels, but that one was a small one. There's actually a lot more in here, apparently. While in the catacomb, K9 senses someone behind them, so they hide in the dead people holes. It's the rich prince who really wants his money, and of course the doctor drops a fucking skull, revealing his presence fucking instantly. So, yeah, he's dead. They're dead. They're all dead.
They're all dead. Everyone is dead. Don't you like being dead?
Mm-hmm.
So they were debating whether or not Kano should return after the problems that the prop had caused during all of Season 15. He was kind of a bit hard to use, and they also didn't know if the operator would be coming back as well. But the character was popular with younger audiences, so with the assurance that the new prop they had made was more efficient and quiet, Graham Williams approved the introduction of K9 Mark II. K9 Mark I stayed with Leela, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a number of K9 marks for a lot of different reasons. Some of them we'll never even see. Unless, of course, we look at certain side things. Working titles for this story included Operation, The Galactic Con Man, and The Ribos File. Which, what an interesting name. Also, Romana's shortened name was also initially meant to be Romy, but they didn't go with it. Instead, they went to Romana, which, I mean, to be honest, it's just better than Romy or Romy. I would assume Romy. Also, this episode has a rare instance of the Doctor actually acting directly to kill a human.
Yeah.
The Doctor does a bait and switch, and it leads to someone dying, which you could argue that's the Doctor killing them. I don't know. It is a bit weird. But from this story until another one up in the future, the Doctor's scarf is actually extra long. And it's the reason it is because it's the remaining portion of the original scarf and also the stunt scarf that they had made sewn together. That's why his scarf is so long. Also, the Doctor initially was meant to be in awe of the White Guardian. However, Tom Baker insisted on playing it mockingly whilst trying not to laugh at how serious it all was. You know, if he takes it completely seriously, then it's just boring. But, you know, the Doctor wouldn't take it completely seriously. He'd have an air of humor about it.
Yeah.
Which, thank God he does. But that's... Robert Holmes, who wrote this story, you could tell he was already disdainful a little bit by the whole idea of this whole light and dark Zoroastrianism sort of struggle for the whole season, and hedonism and everything, which is why he kind of departs from it immediately and goes for just this adventure to get the Jethric and this light-hearted adventure with a con man. But he also took some liberties and decided to make the White Guardian this sort of colonial American looking man, sort of a southern looking man, to sort of be this idea of order, sort of his mocking idea of it, to sort of take the piss out on Graham Williams, which I do kind of like, because it's kind of fucking funny. But anyway, there's a lot more to talk about with the whole wheel of time. Key to time. There's wheels, all sorts of stuff. But anyway, what happens in the final part, dear?
That skull that dropped, called one of those beasties, by the way. So, oops. The prince take cover, walks past them, it's fine. They talk about how they've been in a labyrinth before like this, and it was a long time that before they saw the sky, so let's go get that seer and force her to show her where we're going. Also, Thief 2 tells Benro all the things he needs to know about time travel, and it's fine. The doctor and such argue for a bit. Someone needs to go after the prince, and K9 and the rest of them go deeper, so the doctor goes after the prince. By the way, Thief 2 is really in mega gay love with Thief 1 and is sad that he's probably dead. So they need to make a decision about going deeper or heading back to the city or not. There's a Chekhov's roof cave-in mention. Crazy Prince is like, I want to kill someone, so he does. Doctor is fucking around the prince's room looking for something. Romana's upset that the doctor or someone has stolen the tracer. Romana is a bitch to K9, so fuck her. Prince is taking the seer this way and then takes some dude with red cape with him as well. Thief 1 has met up with Thief 2 and he's like, honey? And Thief 1 is like, bro, money? And then the seer is seen them in the catacombs, but when told to lead, basically we're told everyone's gonna die but one person. Then their way to... Thief 1, by the way, is going to blow off the doctor. He also stole the key from Romana. Benro is found in the catacombs. He has the walkie-talkie watch, so he's taken with them. The doctor is disguised as one of those red capes, by the way. We pull out a ceremonial cannon. It causes that rock fall we mentioned, which now traps everybody and kills a bunch of guards, and it's a lot. K9 and Romana find Thief 1 and Thief 2. K9 just fucking evaporates the rock in between them, and they're like, here's your stick back, and she's like, uh-huh. And Angry Prince is really upset that all of his guards are now dead. Jethric is dead. He kills the seer. Benro's dead. Everybody's dead. The soldier...
Jethric is dead.
The soldier that is the doctor is ready to... He has the Jethric now, by the way. Have I ever mentioned that I might be dyslexic? It's fine.
You know what? I think the one thing I've learned from doing these podcasts with you is I think you are actually dyslexic.
We'll find out one day. Fake soldier doctor is ready to stand here. All the other guards are dead. That's great. So we hand the doctor a fucking bomb and say, sacrifice for yourself for me. Wow. Sacrifice yourself for me, bitch, and goes, oops, and the doctor switches the Jethric with the bomb. That's handy. I'm fine. And everyone gets out safe. Woo! The prince blew himself up. Woo! And then we hand the Jethric to Thief 1 to look at it one last time, because he just wanted to look at it, and he palms it, and the Jethric, supposedly. But then he's like, haha, I got away with it. He's just gonna see a stone. Oh, I pull out a real stone. It's not the Jethric. Oh, he got us. And then back in the TARDIS, the Jethric is turned into a cool piece of time thing, and then we gotta go find 5 more. Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Anyway. Sorry, I'm allergic to your bullshit. Go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it deathly allergic? Because if you are, I'm sorry, I'll just leave now.
Nah, it's not.
Okay. Well, that's the Ribos Operation. It is a fun episode about a heist, a very charismatic con man, his honest-faced chum,
who's gay as
and
hell,
the doctor being swept up in it all. Obviously, they are gay as hell. I mean, clearly. And then, of course, a maniac prince and his loyal guard, and Ned Kelly guards. What do you think, dear? The Key to Time, Part 1.
It was inoffensive, but I don't really give a shit, so like a 5?
Okay.
What?
We're off to a decent start then.
Hey, I didn't say it was bad. I didn't say it was bad. I just said it was inoffensive.
Get ready for the next episode, dear. Because the next episode is where things get pretty weird. Mainly because it's written by Douglas Adams.
Okay.
Do you know who Douglas Adams is?
Nope.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and
Gotcha.
Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, which is kind of loosely based off Doctor Who.
Gotcha.
This is basically what he did just before he wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It wasn't really just as before it took off, kind of. But next episode. Okay. The Pirate Blank.
Ship.
No. 2 more guesses. The Pirate Blank.
Crew.
Nope. One more guess.
How? I don't even know what I'm supposed to be. Curse.
Planet. The Pirate Planet.
Don't really know how I was supposed to
Pirate
get that
Planet.
one. Anyway, moving on. It's fine.
It's planet is a word. You could guess it.
Anyway, moving on.
The Key to Time, episode 2. Next time, the Pirate Planet.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to add, dear?
Nope.
Of course.
Nope.
Of course. Well, I'll see you next time, dear, for the Pirate Planet. Get excited, because there's a bird.
Nope.
There's a little bird.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, goodbye then.
Nope.